Hello, guys, and welcome to Studio One, Butterfly, Bugs, and more. Today, one more time, we talk about irrationality. And irrationality brings you not to have the best workflow, to waste time to find irrationality. You will understand what I'm talking about soon. It is basically about irrationality in key comments. Me and Studio One Presonus have a long issue about key commands. I started using Studio One in 2.5, abandoned it in 3.5, and I was always complaining about the lacking of key commands. Um, Now there are, and all the fanboy were against me and say, "Oh, there is everything. You can press this one, 10 keys, and then make a macros from there." And then just want a key command, just there is a function. I want to have a key command, very easy. Now there are 5 6 times or even more the key commands there were in 2.5, so who's right and who's wrong. But yeah, so irrationality can be a waster of time, incredible waster of time, as it was in my case for this issue. Which, but I've never seen anyone really commenting on this key command, as I am a key command guy, so I went to see a lot of videos that would help with that. In fact, I was fighting for a long, I've been fighting with this for a long time until today. First off, though, I would like to talk about a related topic, which is still visualization, and show you something I don't like about Studio One is the fact that force you to work vertically, while I like to work more, horizontally. So, and of course, everybody I say, "Oh, you can." Oh, sorry. Yeah. You can detach it. Yes, I know. I know. But what happens if I detach it? Happens this one. That the cursor now goes below the mixer windows. And you have to close the mixer, reposition here because you don't even see the bar, then reopen the mixer. That's really not the way to work. It's never gonna go working. But unless you got a second monitor which you dedicated totally to the mixer, which is also a waste in my opinion, because sometimes you just don't need the mixer and you can use the space in a different way. But if you put it on second monitor this screen, then again you incur in the same problem. So basically, Studio One, screw that. I don't know if there is anyone that uses it this way. Screw that. You have to work vertically. Now, you might say, "Oh, the programs work that way." Yeah, there are different program, different solutions. For instance, I want to show you the Cubase solution, which is a very good solution on paper, and they screwed up completely, as many times the developers do. So here we are in Cubase, and if I do the same, I did F3, the same shortcuts, it happens exactly the same. So the cursor disappears below the mixer, and you have to do the same thing. Not the way to work. No, not at all. So what they did do though? What do they have? They have this wonderful feature which is called wonderful on paper always, huh? Workspaces, where you can basically memorize any sort of screen visibility. You want to have it this way, recall it or with little small whatever you want, with a very small mixer and whatever. You can recall whatever. So now, for the purpose of this video, I created this one. You see that disappeared and recall this one, and we got the mixer together, but not overlayered, so that you can use them independently. And if I want to go to the full arrange, I go here, and I can make another one with the full mixer. Anything you want. And so that's very cool. But you know what? I barely use it. And the reason is that they, in their attempt to emulate what is the best ever visualization function, which is in Pro Tools since 20 years, and no DAW is capable to imitate it because it's by far the best one. You hear they have decided that you are taking the screenshot, and every time that you recall your workspace is gonna go to the same place. So yeah, I'm working on this session, I have the mixer. But what about if I'm working on this section that might be very kilometers, miles away, in a big session? I'm working here and I want to get rid of the mixer to have a more space, and it goes back to here. And so otherwise, I'm working on this track, but I want to see more adjacent track. No, I don't have the mixer, sorry. So I just can do the example with here. I select this one. It doesn't really matter because when I go here, it goes back to here, and it always stays here. So this is a very good function whether you give the option. And so the way Pro Tools does, it gives is very Pro Tools. The way Pro Tools does visibility is very very similar to this wonderful the wonderful scene function in this is group. I'm still not confident with this key, sorry about that. Here it is. So basically you memorize the scene, the workspace, but then you can decide what to and have it flagged, though it remembers the position that you can always change. So if you spotted a place and they want to spot the place, you say spot the place. But if you don't want, you just leave it unflagged and it stays where you need to work in that time, even if you haven't taken the. So without giving option, I think this should be free. And when I go to the mixer, it should stay here because I'm working now here. And you don't give me this option, and I have to go back here, refine the place, and it doesn't really work. So, in case somebody from Studio One, some developers find interesting the idea, which I don't know how it's possible, they haven't yet, but do it the right way. Because when you don't do it the first time the right way, you're not gonna do it anymore, probably, most likely, because when Cubase will release 13, when Studio One will release 6.5 or 7, they want to write new function workplaces or whatever they call it, scenes, the Windows recalling, right? So it's an incentive to get the new version because it's got a new feature. But if you already got the feature like Cubase has and it's totally wrong, they're not changing it. They're not changing it. And of course, just as many of you guys, if you go to talk and say, look, this is wrong because of this and this and this, they're gonna say, it's perfect. Oh, you can do it. Okay, everything. Though, fan for though that they my one of my purpose here is to let people understand that there's no such a thing like a perfect dough. It's always a compromise, and I just try to make it better according to my view, which is the only one I have, unfortunately. So okay, so given for granted that we need to work horizontally, unless we got the two screens, let's work horizontally. So I used to use in these few weeks I've been using Studio One this key a lot. I found it very smart if you work horizontally. And I right away, as I am a key command guy, I went to look for the key command. And of course, I went here and appears here small, large. So what are you gonna look for? Small, of course. You go here and press small. And what is that? It's not the track height I'm interested. I'm interested in the console, in seeing the insert. So I go, I don't know, I look insert. What can I do? I look, but I don't find anything until by chance, wasting a lot of time by chance starting to make this video because I just want to tell, dude, shortcut. There is, there is already. It's just irrational, irrational, because you write here hide small, and then how do you call it? I'll show you how you call it. I'll go here, toggle size. Toggle size, which makes a lot of sense to me. And also way more sense than small and large. But at least right here, size. Or even better would be insert and sans. And you write in the key commands insert and sans so that somebody right away can find it. And it made me crazy to go back and forth with the mouse in my long videos. I go here, I go to fix these plugins, I close it, I have to go back here because I want to see some arranging, and it was just there. Shift F3. F3 is the mixer. F3 open the mixer. Shift F3 moves it. I don't think it's perfect. I wouldn't do the toggle, but it's okay. It's okay. At least I know there is. And even more incredible, there is this one that seems not to be, because you read there and you read narrow and normal. So what you gonna do? You search for narrow and you find nothing. Because, incredible as it is, they called it toggle width. Toggle width. Then why didn't write here width? This is not time. This is not time consuming. This is not taking time out of other feature. Like for instance, workspace is a full feature they had to implement. It takes time, it takes effort, it takes space. But this is really just pure irrationality. And how much stress it gave me. And I'm sure there are people not yet using this function just because they cannot find the right key commands, because it's wrongly named. Whatever you want to call it, it has to be consistent here and in the key commands window. So hopefully I've been helpful to someone that was struggling as I was, and nothing more. I hope you had a great time and make great music, of course, without searching too much for key commands that should be that easy to be found. See you next time. Bye.